Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of NEWS2. Happy Friday. I'm Sandra Gumansing. Topping our newscast, the Market Square fence around the Sanderilla Thomas bungalow on St. Thomas received yet another round of critique from residents and business owners. They attended a town hall meeting Thursday evening organized by the Department of Agriculture's Carlos Robles. Many residents in that meeting said the fence had to go. NEWS2's April Knight has that story.
Well, this fence has certainly generated a lot of strong opinions since it went up. One solution was to keep at least a section of it open so it's not as forbidding. But in Thursday's town hall meeting, the general sentiment was take it down.
Take that damn fence down now. And let's start moving forward.
Panelists who were involved in the building of the controversial Sanderilla bungalow fence all said one thing in common: it was a hard decision that had to be made.
The government spent well over $1 million to reconstruct that facility. And to leave it open and to have it to get to the point that where it was, being desecrated on a daily basis was totally unacceptable.
But some residents felt that the fence was never the solution it was intended to be.
The fence made no sense. It made no sense then. It makes no sense now. It's putting a Band-Aid on what the issue is not.
Worse, they say it's actually killing commerce in the area, repelling merchants and tourists alike.
The merchants don't want to be in there because they feel that it is stifling their businesses. Over 15 businesses went out of business and have no intention of coming back into this community.
One alternative suggested by opponents of the fence was an enclosure around just the bungalow and not the entire area around it. That's not to say the fence had no defenders.
Since it gone up, it is still messy, but it isn't as bad as it was before. And to take it down now, it's going to be worse.
Reporting for NEWS2, I'm April Knight.
Agriculture Commissioner nominee Robles stated at the end of that meeting that they will review the residents' comments and will let the public know when they've rendered a decision. In other news, WAPA has given updates on the outages many residents experienced today. At about 1:47 p.m., WAPA experienced low fuel oil pressure on Unit 23 at the Randolph-Hawley power plant, causing the unit to trip and cutting off power to 10 feeders. Within 30 minutes, Unit 14 was brought online and power was restored to all feeders except 9D and portions of 6A and 9C. As of 5 p.m., service was fully restored to all feeders. Well, VITEMA sent out an alert indicating there is no imminent tsunami threat to the VI from the Kikimjeni submarine volcano located close to 500 miles southeast of the territory and 5 miles north of Grenada, after experts say it began showing signs that an eruption could occur. Krista von Hildebrandt, manager of the NWS Caribbean Tsunami Warning Program at Puerto Rico, said this volcano is quite a ways below water and it would take quite a powerful eruption for it to generate a tsunami. If there is a threat to the territory, she says the tsunami warning centers are prepared to immediately make contact with VITEMA's 911 emergency communications centers. On Thursday, a strong continuous signal was observed on instruments. Count on 2 to keep you updated. Governor Kenneth Mapp requested the prompt and favorable consideration of several nominees from the 31st legislature this past week. The governor reappointed attorney Henry C. Smock and nominated Mr. Andrew Farkas, Mr. Stephen Lilly, and Ms. Oren Bari to the UVI Board of Trustees. Mr. Avery Challenger was nominated to the VI Taxi Cab Commission. Mr. Bhagwandeen Persad has been nominated to the Board of Governors of VIPA St. Thomas. 2 nominees were submitted for the Virgin Islands Waste Management Authority, Mr. Joe Hollins, representing St. Croix, and Mr. Harith Wickrama, representing St. John. Jawad Chowdhury, who's been on the run after becoming a suspect in the November 2014 slaying of a woman in Richmond, has been arrested in Tortola. Chowdhury was arrested Thursday by the Royal Virgin Islands Police, according to the Marshal Service. He's wanted in Virginia in connection with the killing of Ebonice Escobar in a Richmond hotel. The service says it developed information with the Richmond police that led to Chowdhury's arrest. According to the Marshal Service, Chowdhury was found near a tent in a remote area of the island. Chowdhury is currently being held in Tortola. On Wednesday, July 22nd at 3:30 a.m., Adam Mason, 30, of Estate Work and Rest, turned himself into police after a warrant issued by the Superior Court was executed. Mason was arrested on the charges of grand larceny, interfering with an officer discharging his duty, and interfering with property in custody of an officer for tampering with evidence in the homicide crime scene of Roy Henry at the Lime nightclub located in Estate Princess that occurred on Sunday, June 21st. The VIPD reminds the public that anyone who tampers with evidence at a crime scene is subject to arrest. Bail was set at $35,000. Vivid Streaming and the neighborhood pharmacy took to the streets Friday to give back. Volunteers and employees from the two companies collected donations on behalf of a popular St. Croix man who needs some new wheels. It's Vivid's third Give Back initiative. News2's Erica Parsons has the story.
Popular radio personality Rashidi Clements and dozens of volunteers braved the traffic Friday around the Sunny Isle intersection. They're collecting money to get a motorized wheelchair for Reuben Turner.
Right now he has a regular push wheelchair and he needs a motorized wheelchair, so we're raising some money for him.
Turner, as he's more widely known, is 49 and he's been using a manual wheelchair for more than 30 years.
I actually have to push this one by myself. So it takes a lot out. By the time I don't do this, I don't work, I'm tired.
Turner works at Kmart part-time and was diagnosed at birth with cerebral palsy. Clements has known Turner for as long as he's been in radio and wanted to help as soon as he knew Turner needed new wheels.
I don't know if anybody had the misfortune of having to try and purchase an electric wheelchair, but they're very expensive. That's why we're out here. We're out here with folks from Neighborhood Pharmacy, from Vivid Streaming, had a firefighter come by.
Clements is one of the founders of the online radio station Vivid Streaming. The fundraiser for Turner is the company's third initiative to give back. They raised money for a St. Thomas coach injured in a hit and run, and they helped clean up Point Udall after it was vandalized.
There was always going to be a reason to do this, so we're going to do it every month, hopefully. We want to be, the voice of the people, but we want to do things for the people who need it as well.
Employees and volunteers from Neighborhood Pharmacy also partnered with Vivid to help raise money for Turner's chair. The group hit the streets in shifts from 6 this morning until 7 p.m. It's an effort Turner appreciates.
This here really shows that people out there really care. And how they care, that's what they're showing today. I didn't even know I had so much people that know me.
Erica Parsons, News 2.
During the fundraising efforts, Castle Coakley Leasing and Jamoy Noel Affinity Automotive donated a lightly used electronic wheelchair. Vivid organizers say in addition to the new wheelchair they're getting for Turner, they will also be giving away the donated chair. Keeping our eye on the economy, here's the New York Stock Exchange with our stock market watch. As we can see, everything down. The Dow 163, NASDAQ 57, S&P 500 down 2250. Coming up on News 2, PBS Kids in the Virgin Islands is promoting an online game for students that parents might actually like. It's called Card Kingdom. You've heard us talk about it. We'll have more. Welcome back. On Thursday, we told you about Eagle Aviation and the progress they're making on their new hangar. But Eagle is also partnered with NASA to provide life-saving services, and they're expanding that side of the business as well. News2's Erica Parsons has that story.
Eagle Aviation's partnership with Medical Air Services Association, or MASA, means expanded service throughout the Caribbean.
We have 4 different airplanes now. We have another 2 coming in 9 months.
The 6 planes are part of the company's air ambulance fleet.
And each airplane has a purpose. So our smallest airplane can get into some of the tighter airports like Virgin Gorda, Saba Island. The King Air, much faster airplane, also can get into the shorter strips, but it can go to every island within the Caribbean. The Learjets are specifically meant for those longer hauls, like back to the States or to Europe or South America.
And they all have life-saving and monitoring equipment on board.
On this aircraft, we can carry 2 passengers, 2 patients at the same time. We have onboard IV pumps. The bed is fully equipped for oxygen, air, and vacuum suction.
The additional air ambulance service is only one part of the expansion. Eagle will also offer education in the medical and aviation fields.
We'll also have an aviation school where people can come and train for aviation mechanics. We'll be providing courses for certification in flight nursing.
Executives say with the additional planes, they'll be able to evacuate more people if the need arises. They can also go much farther if necessary.
Even with just the 2 Learjets, we could actually make runs from St. Croix to Miami, run 2, possibly 3 passenger trips per day per aircraft. That's a lot of transportation. So if the medical needs arise, we can certainly meet that challenge and provide that transportation to virtually anywhere in the world.
Erica Parsons, News 2.
Play a game and learn cool stuff at the same time? It seems like a win-win situation for both kids and their parents, and that's exactly what PBS is hoping to accomplish with its new online game. This month, national PBS execs were in the territory to get VI kids to try it. News2's April Knight has more.
PBS Kids is in the Virgin Islands promoting an online game for kids that parents might actually like.
Kart Kingdom, the new game from PBS Kids.
It's called Kart Kingdom, and PBS says it's good for the brain.
It's all learning games within it, and it's free, and different from a lot of the other online worlds that kids can play in. There's no transactions, and it's all about the kids earning things by building them and crafting them and working collaboratively with other kids.
Kart Kingdom is based on the theory of systems thinking, and it's supposed to help players discover how systems are interconnected. To create the curriculum for the game, PBS teamed up with Arizona University's Center for Games and Impact.
So systems thinking is the ability to understand and manipulate systems such as the water cycle, but it's not just about understanding the water cycle, but understanding the way the entire system works and the skills you need to understand those sort of complex systems.
And they want to make sure that VI kids get to experience Kart Kingdom. PBS and WTJX organized a series of live games fun days across the island.
The games are built around the same curriculum about systems thinking. PBS station events a big part of what we're doing with Kart Kingdom, so we co-created these systems thinking games for events with other PBS stations.
Now St. John kids, fret not. Show up July 31st at the Little League baseball field, and you'll have your turn at Kart Kingdom Fun Day. For News 2, I'm April Knight.
You can log on to pbskids.org and get a free account if you want to try out the Kart Kingdom. Many had the opportunity to meet, mix, and mingle with the cast of Mastermind's Fashionista Fantasy Island Showcase at Yacht Haven Grand on Thursday night. Some familiar celebs such as Michael Collier and Rodney Perry were in the house, as well as local and stateside models. It was a kickoff to the Fantasy Island Hair and Fashion Summer Tour, and tonight it's the comedy show that kicks off at 7:30. Saturday, Backstage Live, the hair show at 7:30. And then on Sunday, Fashionista, we get to see a lot of our local talent on the stage, flaunting all the latest styles. Hosted by Tico, that begins at 5:30. A celebration of our seniors is coming up this weekend. It's called the Young 70s Tea Party. And if you are the age of 70 and over, it's free. Everyone else, the charge is $25. Organizers say you can come out and learn all about healthcare issues, network with organizations that serve seniors, and play some bingo to win some great prizes. Now, it will be held on St. Croix, Saturday, July 25th from 2 to 4 p.m. in the Innovative Business Atrium. Then on Sunday, it's on St. Thomas, same time, at E's Garden Tea House and Tings in Commandant-Gata. That's next to Midtown Guest House. Space is limited, so be sure to reserve your free seat or purchase your tickets by calling 340-514-5125. You can also register online, and that email is right there on the screen. It's sponsored by Innovative Small Business Camp and Mentoring in Medicine. Don't miss the expanded version of the Jazz in the Park music series, scheduled to take place on Saturday, July 25th from 2 to 9 p.m. Again, it's in Roosevelt Park on St. Thomas. New York-based Trinidadian jazz great Etienne Charles will serve as the evening's headliner, followed by jazz vocalist Lori Williams and her ensemble. direct from Washington, D.C. The VI's Flip Switch Band and Joss Soldiers Band, along with a host of other local talent you can enjoy. Well, let's find out what the weather is going to be like for those outdoor events. Stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.